UFC, the world leader in MMA. Experience it on FS1.
Well, the week after the UFC lit up Toronto, the action moves west to Sacramento with a loaded card for the fight faithful in California's capital city. In the main event, two of the strawweight division's rising stars square off as 7th-ranked Paige Van Zandt gets ready to tango with number 11, the karate hottie, Michelle Waterson. This is the UFC Fight Night weigh-in on FS1. All right, with that, a good Friday to you. Welcome inside the newly built Golden One Center, home to the NBA's Kings. John Anik here alongside the UFC light heavyweight champ Daniel Cormier and our UFC reporter Megan O'Leary with us as well. DC, we'll start with you, man, and your health. So as many of our viewers know, groin injury forced you out of a title defense last weekend. I mean, you look pretty good. How goes the recovery? It's going good, man. I went back to the doctor last week, got some more therapy done, PRP, as I'm trying to really speed up the process. I've got to get back into the octagon. I want to fight, man. I want to fight Anthony Johnson. He deserves the opportunity, so I'm trying my best to get healthy. Hopefully it happens very soon and we fight in the spring. And we very much look forward to that. Megan, good to have you here on the desk. So you were at the official weigh-in earlier today backstage. Any major takeaways? Yeah, well, it was a good morning for the UFC. Everyone officially made weight. At the UFC host hotel, weigh-ins were from 9 to 11 a.m. and everyone was weighed in and on weight by 10:20 in the morning. So it was a nice, quick and easy morning for everyone at the UFC. Yeah, we know the media likes that too. All right, let's dive right into this main event. So Paige Van Zandt's 3 finishes thus far, the most turned in the UFC's young strawweight division. But of course, if Michelle Waterson's octagon debut last year is any indication, the karate hottie more than a formidable foe here. The karate hottie is not coming here to just be Paige Van Zandt's foe. She's here to put this division on notice and say, look at me. I'm the guy, I'm the girl that should be at the top of the marquee. But Paige Van Zandt is here for the second time. Main event in the UFC card. She has to take advantage. All weekend, you're going to hear me talk about chaos. Paige Van Zandt has to make chaos in order to be successful this weekend against Michelle Waterson. Yeah, we know she'll have energy for it, right? These two have been so excited all week long. They have had energy in leaps and bounds, even today when they stepped on the scale at the official weigh-ins. When fighters don't feel so great, right, they both were so excited to get into that octagon. You see Michelle Waterson embrace that open workout. I've never seen anything like it. All right, well, DC, to say the UFC's future is bright, I think would be the understatement of the year, right? So if you're looking for tangible proof, how about this co-main event? 20-year-old Sage Northcutt taking on the 24-year-old Mickey Gall. Two of the best prospects in all of the UFC. Whoever's advising Mickey Gall is a genius. Fight CM Punk and call out Sage Northcutt. But Sage Northcutt, he's taking this as a dig at him. He's better than what Mickey Gall thinks he is. It's kind of got a chip on his shoulder. We may see the dark Sage Northcutt tomorrow night. What if the guy comes out with black hair? He's like Bizarro World Sage Northcutt, ready to fight Mickey Gall. This is going to be a fantastic fight between two of the best prospects in all of the UFC. So Saturday's card certainly about superstar potential, but we also have a current superstar, the legend Uriah Faber, set to make the walk, Megan, for a final time. Yeah, he's the California kid, but he's also the king of positivity. So while Uriah Faber's going to miss a lot about the fight game, and obviously he's going to be away, he's going to be around in some shape or form, but you know, I don't think he's going to miss the weight cut. This morning when he did make the weight of 136 pounds for the bantamweight cutoff, you could tell it was taking a toll on his body. He actually had to sit a little bit after he was on the scale, so you could tell he won't miss that part of the game. All right, plenty more to come over the next hour. Now, though, the ceremonial weigh-in is about to begin. We go downstairs to Mike Goldberg.
What's going on, Sacramento? Great to be back. Ariani, Brittany, Chrissy, Vanessa, matchmaker Sean Shelby, Fox, UFC Fight Night. All right, let's get the weigh-in underway. Our first fight on UFC Fight Pass in the welterweight division. Sultan Ali against Bojan Velichkovic.
All right, so here is Sultan Aliyev set to make his second UFC appearance. It'll be, though, his first since January of 2015. Wrist injury forced him out of a scheduled fight with Hyun-Gyu Lim. That was to have gone down in August at UFC 202. So if you're scoring at home, the layoff will have been 692 days when he makes the walk tomorrow night. Combat Sambo fighter here with some pop.
171 for Sultan Aliyev. His opponent, Serbian Steel, Bojan Velichkovic.
Serbia's Bojan Velichkovic makes his third octagon appearance tomorrow night, and the Team Elevation fighter is obviously really focused on victory inside the octagon, but I've got to tell you, he's also been really focused on getting to meet the basketball legend Vlade Divac.
Yes. Official weigh-in, 170 pounds.
I mean, we all want to meet Vlade Divac.
I'm glad
everybody wants to meet Vlade.
That's good.
First fight tomorrow night, live on UFC Fight Pass. Next up in the flyweight division, Hector Sandoval facing Freddie Serrano.
As you can imagine, being a pro athlete in Colombia is tough. Well, Freddie Serrano is actually trying to improve people's chances of advancing in their sport in his home country. He has opened up gyms all across Colombia. They started as wrestling gyms, but now he's turned into MMA gyms because he believes that's an outlet.
Official weight for Freddie Serrano, 126
to improve their
pounds.
situations in Colombia. He coaches at these gyms for free. He just wants to give guys opportunity.
His opponent, Sacramento Hector Sandoval.
All right, so here's the Mexican-born Hector Sandoval. So he watched WEC 31 favor Curran back in 2007. He told our own Brian Stan that he decided then on the spot he wanted to be a fighter and train with Uriah. Made his pro debut a year later.
125.5 for Kid Ellis.
And Sandoval's been training at Team Alpha Male for 9 years. He would like nothing more than to pick up his first UFC win here in Sacktown on Faber's final UFC fight.
Up next, our feature bout of our Fight Pass preliminary fights. Eddie Wineland facing Takeya Mizugaki.
Takeya Mizugaki told me yesterday that he has really fond memories of fighting here in Sacramento. He was victorious at WC 48 of Aldo versus Faber. That night he defeated Hani Yahya, and tomorrow night he believes he will be the more precise striker.
136 for Takeya Mizugaki. His opponent, Eddie Wineland.
When I was preparing for UFC Chicago, I wondered aloud, does Eddie Wineland still have it? That night, he answered that question with a resounding yes, earning $50,000 for performance of the night. Right after the fight, he said himself he had those doubts. No more doubts as he prepares to fight Mizugaki tomorrow night and feels...
Eddie Wineland weighing in at 136 pounds.
He has one more run at the top of this division.
Our feature bout on UFC Fight Pass. Tomorrow night, Wineland and Mizugaki. All right, our first fight tomorrow on FS1. Leslie Smith facing Arena Aldana.
Team Lobo on the map, ladies and gentlemen. So a teammate of rising strawweight star Alexa Grasso. Here is Mexico's Arena Aldana. Might have that superstar potential as well. She walked into an MMA gym for the first time at 23. Here at 28, she makes her UFC debut. She is definitely a finisher. She'll rock you on the feet, then choke you out if you're not careful. Arena Aldana set to make her UFC debut against Leslie Smith in this building tomorrow night.
Official weight, 136 pounds for Aldana. Her opponent, Leslie, the Peacemaker Smith.
Believe it or not, in over 16 fights as a professional mixed martial artist, this will be Leslie's first fight in the state of California. She said preparing at home has been wonderful.
135.5 for Leslie Smith.
She said it was great to not actually have to travel in a week early to a different fight location. She said this has been so nice for her.
Probably a lot better looking at Aldana instead of Chris Cyborg as she did in her last fight.
And Reina Aldana.
Don't sleep on Aldana.
Hey, let me tell you something. It's much better.
Formerly of the Knoxville Ice Bears in the Southern Professional Hockey League, here is Scott Hot Sauce Holtzman. His manager tells me he spent a lot of time during this training camp focusing on rest and recovery after hard workouts. In the past, really, it's been just straight volume. Now he's working smarter. He's also got a new specialist for the reload process after the weigh-in. Look at him, he's about $180 right now.
Official weight, 156.
Wow. Completely filled out already.
His opponent, Sacramento's own, Josh Emmett.
You want to talk about coming full circle. Josh lives here, trains here, loves it here. 10 years ago, Josh watched Matt Hughes fight George St. Pierre.
Josh Emmett weighing in at 156 pounds.
He took a picture next to the octagon and he said, one day, I'm going to fight here in this arena. Well, he's not fighting in the old arena. He's getting the red carpet treatment in the brand new Golden One Center in Sacramento.
James Moontasri facing Alex Morono.
When discussing his plans for this fight, Alex Morono said he's going to swing for the fences. When fans were asking him if he was looking to grapple with his opponent, he said, well, I usually get it to the ground, but it's just too much fun to stand and bang.
170.5 for Alex Morono. His opponent, James Moonwalker Moontasri.
So when we work in TV, you don't want to make fun of the guy that actually writes your jokes. The guy that writes my jokes sometimes is R.J. Clifford. He fought James Moontasri. Right? James Moontasri absolutely destroyed R.J. So I have no story but to say that James, thank you
171 for Moonwalker
for beating R.J. into submission.
He
so
didn't even show up in Sacramento.
R.J. didn't even show up to Sacramento because Moontasri's fighting.
Poor guy.
Welterweight fight tomorrow on FS1. Up next, also in the welterweight division, Brian Bam Bam Barberena facing Colby Chaos Covington.
The first time,
Colby Covington.
The first time I met Colby Covington, I was one of the guys trying to recruit him when he was leaving junior college to come to Oklahoma State. He chose the other OSU, Oregon State. Where he became a Pac-10 champion and an NCAA All-American. Scott's from an athletic family. His sister was a dancer for the Sacramento Kings here in Sacramento.
Well, if you're looking for a welterweight dark horse, perhaps it is the bearded Brian Barberena. So back in May, goes to Brazil, beats Warley Alves. Third time he has cashed as an underdog in as many UFC wins, and yet still a fairly big underdog here against Covington, plus 300 or so. The MMA bettors, though, I'm told, are paying attention. Some action coming in on the 27-year-old out of the MMA lab.
171 for Bam Bam.
Doubt him if you want, Andy. People can doubt this guy if they want to. I'm done doubting Brian Barberena. He has put it on prospect after prospect, and he's looking to do it again tomorrow night against Colby Covington.
Our next fight is in the UFC featherweight division. Cole Magrinho Miller taking on Mizuto Hiroto.
So here's the now 35-year-old Mizuto Hirota continuing this second UFC stint. He returns here in Sacramento after more than 14 months away from the octagon. This guy is known to the avid fans for sure. He won several titles at lightweight in his native Japan, certainly in some memorable fights over there, but still trying to get untracked in the UFC. He's unbeaten in 4 of 6 since moving down to featherweight in 2013.
Official weight, 146 for Mizuto Hiroto. And his opponent, Cole Miller.
Cole Miller is looking to get back in the win column tomorrow night here in Sacramento. The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt is also quite the gamer. On his official UFC bio, he lists the typical MMA training that you see most fighters list. But then
146 for Magrinho.
he also lists Nintendo Wii and 3DS as part of his training regimen.
Cole Miller's nickname sounds like he would be a guy from Brazil. I mean, you don't expect that he's a jiu-jitsu guy, but he's carrying that nickname like that.
Yeah.
What does that mean exactly?
Skinny, it means skinny.
It means skinny,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Heavyweight division. Enrique Da Silva taking on Paul Craig. Time to make his UFC debut.
Paul Craig is very calm. You don't see that when guys make their UFC debuts. But he also said, I don't get paid for time spent in the octagon.
Official weight, 204 pounds for Paul Craig.
So even though I'm scheduled for 15 minutes, expect me to be done quick in the first round, and I'm going to turn around and fight again in England in early 2017.
Enrique Da Silva also believes this fight will be done in the first round. And if you take a look at his record, that is very possible. He's got 11 wins by knockout, and 8 of his finishes have occurred in that first round. He said he's going to knock out Craig.
Iwan Cutelaba starting a trend here with fighters going to the body paint for the weigh-in. Back to our desk spot here in Sacramento. So the final 4 fights on the card you can see on Fox tomorrow night. Charged with opening the main card, welterweights Alan Jouban and Mike Perry. Jouban looking for the first 3-fight win streak of his UFC career. The undefeated Perry, though, set to hit the scale first. And here he is, folks, the star of the show, born and raised in Flint, Michigan, Platinum Mike Perry. And really, for guys who made their UFC debuts in 2016, few of them have as much hype and hysteria as Mike Perry, 9-0 with 9 knockouts.
Mike Perry weighing in at 171 pounds.
He believes Alan Jouban is old and his time is now. Time is definitely on his side. He was born 3 weeks before my bar mitzvah in 1991.
Alan Jouban is not old. Alan Jouban from my hometown of Lafayette, Louisiana. I want to say I just lost a bet because I threw the city out there. Jouban actually loves to fight. You would think a guy that's a professional model would take care of his moneymaker because he needs his face. But the moment the bell rings, Jouban goes face forward, all action. Great athlete from Lafayette, Louisiana. Once again, Alan Jouban.
170.5 for Jouban.
Looking forward to this stare down.
I don't know if that cost me $100. I said it twice. These guys don't really like each other. This is going to be a fantastic fight. This one may be the show stealer tomorrow night.
We will get things started with these 2 fighters tomorrow night on Fox. Our next fight in the bantamweight division, the California Kid, Uriah Faber, facing Brad One Punch Pickett.
Wearing his signature cap there, Brad Pickett believes for the first time in his career, he's been sent to be the bad guy. He said he's coming to Sacramento to take out the hometown hero in Uriah Faber. Pickett said his plan is pretty simple. He's going to come to Sacramento, win his fight, go back to England, and have it be a sort of British invasion.
136.
When he and Uriah obviously get along, they actually were taking photos this week. They actually did a little bit of training at the same facility earlier this week.
California Kid, Uriah Faber.
When Anderson Silva retires, I want to be in Brazil. There's only a few places I want to be when a guy takes his last fight. I'm glad I am in Sacramento as Uriah Faber is going to fight for the last time in the UFC's octagon.
136 for Uriah Faber.
Uriah has taken this city and put it on his back and introduced it to mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
He's fought here countless times. He will get a hero's welcome tomorrow night as he walks to the octagon, and he deserves it.
Cali love, baby.
It will be a special
All right, Megan
night for
O'Leary's
you
got to
right
head
now.
downstairs to corral some of these guys. Great stuff. We will see you later in the hour.
Thanks so much, guys.
Main event of the evening in the UFC welterweight division. Sage Northcutt fighting Mickey Gall.
Sometimes Mickey Gall can come off as cocky, but on his fight week schedule, he had to visit UC Davis Children's Hospital.
171 pounds for Mickey
He went there
Gall.
on Wednesday and hung out with the kids. After the visit, Mickey said everything was surreal. He knows that fighting's important, but these kids are in the real fight, and he appreciates them for it.
All right, and still the youngest fighter on the UFC roster. Another high-profile spot here for the 20-year-old Sage Northcutt. He certainly accrued.
Official weight, 170 pounds for Super Sage.
Some valuable experience thus far. This will be his 5th UFC fight since making his debut last October at your card, UFC 192.
I cannot wait for this with John.
Live on Fox. All right, now let's take a closer look at the two fighters who will take on each other in our main event of the evening.
Well, Brian Stanton, was not a matter of if, but when the karate hottie Michelle Waterson would make her way to the UFC.
Yeah, really turned a corner despite taking a significant delay. I expect a much improved Paige Van Zandt tonight as she goes against a very talented striker.
But when she fights with tenacity.
Paige Van Zandt, what she showed in that jumping roundhouse kick KO is extreme athletic ability and knockout power.
Surrender on cue. It is all over. Paige Van Zandt.
It was a kick that I worked over and over and over and over again, so I knew I could land it. I got the timing right and it knocked her out.
That is something that Michelle Waterson has to be deeply aware of. But Michelle Waterson has a deep background in traditional martial arts.
And there's the tap. Michelle Waterson makes good on the UFC debut.
A victory over Paige Van Zandt essentially swaps places with her.
What motivates me going into the fight with Paige is the possibility of taking what she has.
Paige Van Zandt has tremendous amount of hype behind her right now. And there's so many people that are watching her fight because, oh, it's that cute girl from Dancing with the Stars. And then you watch her jumping roundhouse kick someone in the face, you go, whoa.
She's got a karate background, so that's something that I'm going to play into, I'm going to listen to. She's dangerous in every area, so I'm going to make sure I'm prepared in every area.
She thinks that she can scramble out of things, and if I can just shut her down, then she has no answer. And now she's just fighting to survive and not fighting to win.
I would say that she has a lot of athletic capability, but I don't think she's the toughest person I've ever fought.
I couldn't imagine going 5 rounds without it being a war.
I'm ready to put on a good show. I will be victorious.
I'm pretty comfortable with going in there and just sticking it to her.
Please welcome to the scale, the karate hottie, Michelle Waterson.
So this will be the first UFC main event for the lifelong martial artist Michelle Waterson. She is in the shape of her life. She's coming up on 10 years as a pro, and inspired by her Jackson Wink teammates Cub Swanson and Lando Banata this past weekend at UFC 206, she told me she is looking forward to giving us some interesting things to talk about tomorrow night.
Official weight, 115 pounds for Michelle Waterson.
She is relaxed, and man, has she relished the fight week spotlight here in Sacramento.
Yeah, she's loved it. She's looked in her element. For all that Paige Van Zandt has done outside of the octagon, it's her fighting that she relishes the most. We talk about chaos.
Official weight, 116 pounds.
When Paige is creating chaos, when she is going forward and being reckless, that's when she is in her element. She has to do that in order to beat the karate hottie this weekend. Now look at these two young ladies having fun up there dancing. I would not want to go up on the stage and dance against my opponent. Paige went on Dancing with the Stars. Maybe Michelle Waterson needs a chance on the show.
Hey, she wins tomorrow night. She might just get it.
Going to visit first with Michelle Waterson. You've got a big smile on your face, Michelle. I know you're excited about tomorrow's main event.
Yes, you know, I feel like I'm right at home here. You guys have shown me nothing but love, so thank you guys, and we're going to put on a show for you.
Congratulations on the opportunity. Can't wait to see you fight.
Thank you so much.
The karate hottie, Michelle Waterson. Sacramento's own Team Alpha Male's own Paige Van Zandt. You're going to do this at home tomorrow night.
I am. I'm so excited I get to perform in front of all of you in Sacramento. This is my home now. Thank you guys.
You guys might be dancing right now. You're going to be fighting tomorrow, aren't you?
Oh yeah, let's definitely be some fireworks tomorrow.
Paige Van Zandt, ladies and gentlemen. That's our official weigh-ins. We will see you tomorrow on FS1 Fight Pass.
All right, so with the inconvenient truth, the weigh-in now out of the way, we look ahead to the action.
UFC returns to Sacramento Saturday, December 17th with a white-hot main event featuring strawweights Paige Van Zandt and Michelle Waterson. Plus, Sacktown's own MMA superstar Uriah Faber takes on striker Brad Pickett.
It's all over! What a dominant performance by Uriah Faber!
And welterweight forces Sage Northcutt and Mickey Gall square off. Don't miss UFC Fight Night, live at the Golden One Center, only on Fox.
Before fighting Holly Holm in November of 2015, Ronda Rousey was the only women's bantamweight champion the UFC had ever seen.
She was a superstar as far as movies go, superstar in the sport. It was Ronda Rousey and everybody else. Everybody else was trying to be second best.
Since that loss, we have barely seen Ronda.
It's not consistent with who you've promoted yourself to be. Is that about losing? Or is that about losing the mystique and the image that you worked so hard to create?
The belt has changed hands many times over now successively.
We now have Amanda Nunes as that champion.
Discussions over the last 11 months or so trying to get Ronda back into the octagon.
Has there been anything in terms of development on the return of Ronda Rousey?
The type of champion that she was, as much as she dominated, I can't imagine that one fight will set her back that much.
To complete the story, she does need to come back and try to get that belt back.
Let's make the major announcement, Dana White.
Well, the thing that everybody's been waiting for a good year, Ronda Rousey is back.
Right elbow, double left knee.
She will fight December 30th against Amanda Nunes for the title.
She's the type of competitor that isn't going to go out like that.
Yeah. Clear visions with my eyes closed. Where I want to take this to is where my mind goes. The road less traveled is the high roads. I've been knocked down, but every time I rose. Cause I can move a mountain with my bare hands. I never settle down. I came to get the crown.
She needs to be that same Ronda Rousey that thought she was invincible. I think she's going to come back with a vengeance.
Bye.